Welcome back to another episode of Backpacking Latin America, in which two Irish people make their way from Mexico to Brazil over land whilst trying not to cycle off a cliff. We're still in the Bolivian city of La Paz and still coming to terms with the dizzying altitudes that locals have to deal with on an everyday basis. Last time out, we celebrated a birthday, lived out a strange Viking fantasy, and witnessed a scrap outside a chipper. For our last few days here, we were keen to move out of the city centre and more into unknown territory. But before we get to that, let's just try to survive manoeuvring through rush hour traffic.
Oh crap, I'm stuck in the middle of the road now. Good morning, I'm by myself. I am headed back to the Carrot Tree to beat the girls. We are doing a walking tour of the city today. The girls went ahead of me because they wanted to get breakfast in the Carrot Tree. I decided against it because I'm not really feeling that well, but I don't want to miss this tour. Alright, here's our tour guide. Let the tour commence. So this building here behind me where there's like little bits of work going on is San Pedro Prison.
I went on to do a very long-winded and poor explanation of this prison, but basically I found this place interesting for two reasons. Firstly, inmates can bring their own families into the prison with them if the family can't afford rent on the outside. Children actually leave this prison every morning for school and return in the evenings. Secondly, the inmates run their own society within the walls, while the guards just hold the perimeter. This is similar to how the prison Sona is portrayed in Season 3 of Prison Break. I can't say for sure if San Pedro inspired this idea. Next, we jumped back on what was fast becoming our favourite mode of public transport. We emerged 10 minutes later in a place called El Alto, over 4,000 metres above sea level. Technically, El Alto is a separate city to La Paz, but because both have seen huge growth over the last 30 years, they now sit side by side.
We are just walking through the biggest market in El Alto / La Paz, and it is so cheap. I went to buy a banana there for $1 Boliviano, which is 1/7 of a euro, and she gave me 5 bananas for one of those. So I worked it out, it was about 3 cents per banana.
After exploring the largest market in the city, we briefly rested our legs in the modest dwelling of this man. Here, we all received a cocoa leaf reading, which was kindly translated by our tour guide.
Sí, la señorita es muy dedicada en todo lo que
Also
hace.
good, dedicated
Esa
person.
dedicación sí tendría que ser solamente que
You like to do the things only yourself without the help of any
un
person.
poco tiene que abrirse.
Most of our fortunes were positive. However, he did inform me that I was going to have an accident, which isn't the best thing to hear when you're planning on doing death row the next day. To add insult to injury, he then invited us into his back garden, which was basically a cliff face. Literally, one wrong step and you'd find yourself tumbling towards La Paz below. Back on the relatively low ground of La Paz again, our final stop would be the cemetery.
So the majority of people like rent these plots, they don't buy them outright, and if you don't pay your rent, you get an X on it, and this means that they're going to get evicted, dead or alive.
This line seemed way funnier in my head.
It is 6:15 in the morning. Today is Death Row Day, and strangely, the first time in 8.5 months, this is something that we are not doing together. Sarah has opted not to do this because it's like $70 and she'd just be afraid of her life and wouldn't enjoy it. So what's the point? So it's only myself and Olivia actually. Megan has opted not to do it also. Early start, it's going to be a long day, but hopefully a fun one. All kitted out, a little bit of breakfast in the belly, Olivia's GoPro attached to the helmet. Let's get cycling. We have just completed our first part there. One guy fell very badly there. He's still yet to arrive here. He may not be able to continue. I was right behind him. It was a very scary fall. He went right over the handlebars.
The guy was fine and able to continue. The reason why I have this look on my face is that deep down, I actually found it quite funny. After this, we jumped back on the shuttle bus to be dropped at the beginning of Death Road proper.
So, before we start talking about the rules that we need to know in this second section of the tour, would you like to know a little bit of the history of this place?
Yeah.
For those wondering, Death Road is a treacherous 55-kilometre stretch, infamous for its high fatality rate. The road is only 1 lane wide in many places, with sheer drops of up to 600 metres on one side. Due to the lack of safety measures, accidents were frequent and fatalities were common, earning the road its ominous nickname. In 2006, a new, wider road was built to replace Death Road, and it is now mostly used by tourists, like us, seeking an adrenaline-pumping mountain biking experience.
Just taking another little snack break here. Olivia's GoPro not working, but another girl here has a GoPro, so I've stuck that onto the helmet. Hopefully I'll get some footage there. It's very hard to record with the phone. You need your 2 hands on the handlebars all the time. It's very dangerous to take them off, so that's why there's nothing happening on this camera.
And thankfully, this GoPro functioned the way it's supposed to. Huge thanks to this girl for letting me use it. Needless to say, we were taking it very easy when the drop on the left-hand side was this close. With my confidence rising with every corner, I decided to try a few overtakes.
Passing on your right. Passing on your left. Passing on your right.
Then we started having fun.
Climate and temperature after changing and increasing massively. I took off another layer there. It's very, very sweaty now at the minute, but the footage looks good.
This final dusty section led us to a small village, where we were greeted with this sign.
The sign doesn't lie. I survived. It's good.
So guys, first of all, now that we are all survivors of the tour, we have arrived all of us in just one piece as it was promised at the beginning of the day. Guys, a big round of applause for this fantastic thing, guys.
After this quick drink, it was back to the shuttle bus for the long journey back to La Paz. Thankfully, this was broken up with a food/pool stop, which was welcome.
I've got many things to tell you. Got many things to share. Yeah.
What's she got? Oh my god.
Yeah. That car's green.
That car's blue. What are you talking about?
Right.